Hi guys, this is my friend Sam. I'm going to recreate the winning look from American Beauty Star Episode 1. First, I'm priming her lids using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm gently applying it using patting motions with my fingertip. Now I'm going to use this fluffy C512 brush by Crown, and I'm going to go in with the shade Instinct, that's from the Tarte Clay Play palette, and apply this all over the lid to set the primer. This will make blending my shadows so much easier. Now I'm going to take this spoolie brush by Motives Cosmetics and start combing her brows, preparing them to be filled in. Now going in with a MAC 209 brush, I'm using the Tarte Clay Play palette again and going in to fill her brows with the shade Smoke. I'm using hair-like strokes and I'm taking my time, and the reason why I'm using the shadows is because I want the brow to look very natural. Just trying to fill in. She naturally has beautiful brows anyway. So how many of you watched episode 1 of American Beauty Star? Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Did you guys see my face at the end? I was literally in shock that I had won the first challenge, and so happy to be given immunity in the next. Then taking one of my all-time favorite palettes, which is by Huda Beauty, the Rose Gold Palette, I'm going to go in to the shade Sandlewood with that same crease brush by Crown in C512, and using windshield wiper motions, I'm going to sweep this right into the crease of her lid. This shade right here has always been one of my favorite transition shades. I love using this shade in the crease. Now I'm going into Trust Fund, which is a pressed pigment in this palette. I find using my finger gives the best color payoff. So I'm just pressing this on the lid. Look at that pigmentation. I cannot get the same pigmentation with a brush. So when it comes to these pressed pigments, I always use my finger. So I'm just blending this pigment with my finger, pressing it in there. And I'm going to go back with this crease brush and make sure that the edges are seamless by blending that Trust Fund pigment into Sandalwood that I applied in the crease. Now using that same shade that I used in her crease, I'm going to now go in with the MAC 210 brush and apply Sandalwood to her lower lash line. I call this bridging the eye. Prepares it for any other shade that I want to add underneath. Now I'm going into Moondust with my e.l.f. 201 brush, and I'm applying this right underneath her eyebrow, right on that brow bone. It's going to give that brow a lift. It's a beautiful shimmery shade. Now using the shade Coco, I'm going in with this flat top brush, and I'm going to apply it right underneath her lower lash line, as close to the lash line that I can get it, and sweeping back and forth, just blending it in. This is going to give her eyes some more definition and really make them pop. And I'm obsessed with these steel and metallic glitters. This is in the color or shade Kitten Karma, and they are the most amazing glitter pigments I've ever used. There's like no mess. I'm going to pop this right in the tear duct area of her eye to really open that up. No fallout. Now, using that e.l.f. 201 brush again, I'm just blending the glitter pigment into the shadow to make sure that it's seamless when it meets. Using the shade Coco again with that flat top brush, I'm just going in as if I'm lining her lids and just gently applying a little bit on the lash line. Now I'm using the Tarte Cosmetics Lights Camera Splashes Waterproof Mascara, and I'm just going to apply 1 to 2 coats on her natural lashes. And here's my Ardell lash lookbook, and I'm going to use the lashes 120, which are a very natural, wispy kind of lash. I'm going to use this duo lash glue right here. This one is my favorite because it doesn't take long for it to get tacky. So I feel that it speeds up the lash application process. And then with my tweezers, I'm going to go in and first push the middle of the lash, and then attaching the outer corner and then the inner corner. A lot of times when on set, I'll use my Temptu air gun, just the air, to dry the glue a little bit quicker and make it tacky. This really speeds up the process, especially if I'm on set and I have a bunch of faces to do. I don't have time to sit there and let that glue get tacky, so this is one of my tricks. So the first thing I'm going to use is Tehran Corrected Neutralizer Palette in Sherbet to conceal the dark circles underneath Sam's eyes. I'm going in with a little concealer brush and just gently applying this. Using my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to very gently tap this in and blend it out. Now for my favorite parts. I'm using the Temptu air gun and the new Hydro Lock foundation, and I am applying the foundation and keeping it anywhere from 3 to 6 inches away from her skin, using circular motions, going back and forth, making sure that I have even and full coverage. Before I did this, I actually primed her skin with the silicone-based Temptu primer mixed with Gleam by Melanie in the shade Rose Gold. I like to use the Gleam because it gives a little bit of an underglow on the skin, and it looks really pretty underneath the foundation. So I'm covering up her brows here because I want to make sure that I don't spray over them. And I'm just going to work my way down to the chin area, going in circular motions. pulling back her hair, making sure I don't get any foundation on that, and then I'm applying it to her neck, back up to her forehead, circular motions. Just keep moving the air gun. You can pretty much eyeball it and tell if you need more or less coverage in whatever area you're working in. Now, just using the air from the air gun with no foundation coming out, I'm just going back and forth to dry the foundation that I just airbrushed on her skin. Just drying it, no foundation, just air coming out and drying it up. Checking that lash. Drying and drying and drying. My goal here was to give her the no makeup look, because that is the look that best describes me. Now I'm going to use Maybelline's Vivid Hot Lacquer in the shade Unreal. This was the actual shade that I used in the winning look. It's very natural. Just applying it to Sam's lower lip, and then I'm going to work my way up to the top. Now I'm going back into the Clay Play palette by Tarte Cosmetics, and I'm dipping into the shade Desert with the MAC 163 brush to contour her face. I am bringing the contour up underneath her cheekbones, and I had to wait until the airbrush makeup was completely dry in order to do this, because I chose not to set it with powder. And just a light little sweep on the forehead as well to contour the face, keeping it natural. I'm also sweeping it along her jawline. Now I'm going in with this Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Seduce. And I'm going to apply this to her cheeks to give her a little flush of color. And I'm going in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero palette, and I'm going to use 3 shades, Glow Getter, 143, and Forever Young, to highlight top of her cheekbones. And here is the final look. This is the winning look from episode 1 of American Beauty Star. I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. This will be the first of many. Please leave some comments below, like and subscribe, and I will